Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here, back to make another weekly update to my options trading journey. So, real quick, these are the option stocks that are on my watch list. I don't really go through this tab much, but I just wanted to show you kind of like, especially column K, to give you an idea of what my thinking is when I do options. So if we look at TSLL, for example, right there, that's one of the stocks I love trading. Why? Well, number one, I trust Tesla, right? As a company, I trust they're not going to go anywhere. Number two, Tesla is volatile as hell. And number three, right? Well, there's actually four. Number three is this is a double leverage fund of Tesla. And number four, I can afford it. Even though it's gone up a lot, it used to be $6. Now it's freaking 27.09. But it's still affordable. And what do I mean by affordable? Well, what do? I take the 27. If you look at bankroll column K, I take C4, which is the 2709. I multiply that by 100, which would equal one contract. And then I multiply that by 10. And that's how I get the 10 contract rule. And for those of you that are new to my channel, when I trade options, I want to make sure I can afford 10 contracts. And why do I say that? It's basically so I can save myself from myself. Because I'm not, I'll say, your everyday options trader. I don't really track the charts. I don't make sure, okay, this one's at a 52-week this and that. And based on the EMA this and that, RSI this and that. I do understand the indicators and I do vaguely sometimes look at them. But it's not really, again, I have a full-time job. I don't really have time to do that before I make a trade. I typically just make the damn trade. So that being said, I make sure I'm able to forward 10 contracts. So if I sell a put on TSLL, for example, at 27 and they tank to 20, then I'm not worried. Why? Because I can sell more puts and I can afford to sell more puts. Obviously, that's a drastic drop, but you get what I'm saying, right? So that's why I have the 10 contract rule. It's because I want to be able to save myself from bad decisions. And since, the beginning of 2025, I have to say I've been playing it a little safer than usual as well. So I'm not as, I'll say as risky. Usually when I started a wheel, I would sell puts at the money. I wouldn't even care. But now what I'm doing is I'm kind of selling them out of the money. I'm even looking at Delta. I know. I don't speak Greek, but the 20 Deltas are typically, we'll say the safety net. And you can see them on your brokerage if you're wondering what that means. But it's, but basically I'm selling them out of the money. I'm not selling them at the money. Just far enough that I'm still getting an attractive premium and I'm less likely to get assigned. But like I said, if I get assigned, I don't care. But at least at that point, if I'm selling at the money and the stock tanks and I get assigned, I'm screwed, right? That's a terrible cost basis. But if I'm selling out of the money to begin with in the stock tanks, at least my cost basis would be much better off than what it was. But again, I'm not saying I'm not a degenerate. I'm still a degenerate, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so that's the bankroll, and that's obviously, so when you get down further here, you can see like UPRO, which is a 3X fund of the S&P 500, I clicked the wrong one, $97,840. I don't even have that in my account. So I don't trade UPRO, right? I can't afford it. TQQQ, 86,000. I can't afford it. So these are there on my watch list because I want to trade them. However, based on the 10 contract rule, I can't afford it. Does that mean I won't trade it? Probably, but never say never. But they are on my list. One day when my account gets to 100K, I'll feel a lot more comfortable, playing with one or the other. And then, of course, like Bitex, that's expensive as hell, $63,000. So what I'm using now is TSLL, MSTI, and TNA. All right, they're all kind of affordable. TNA, that's the Russell, 3 times Russell, but it's the only index I can afford, and it just happens to be the most volatile index. So it kind of works out in that favor. Everything else, Mara, Soxel, MSTU, I can't really trade them right now because, the what is it? The tax loss harvesting rule, 30-day, whatever. So I'm waiting till the end of January to start playing with them again. And then Clean Spark, it's there, but I'm still scared to even touch that one. All right, so enough about the watch list. Let's get to the trades. All right, so what did I do this week, right? What kind of plays did I have going on this week? So nothing carried over from the prior week because, as you can see, I have a new line for each week. So I had no active trades over the past weekend. So on Monday morning, let's see, TNA looks like it went up to 45.46. And I currently have 100 shares with an average cost basis of $41.50. Okay? So that means I can sell calls on those 100 shares or a call on those 100 shares, anything above $41.50. So what I decided to do at the time, it was $45.46. I sold a call for $47. It's 3.39% out of the money at the time. Again, that's for 1 week. So, I feel pretty good about that because the reason I didn't go closer to the 45, essentially at the money to get higher premium is because I wanted a chance to essentially, I'll say, not get assigned, right? I wanted a fighting chance. I wanted to be fair both ways. So I did collect a good premium still. I collected $64 and I still gave myself a good shot of not getting assigned. But guess what? On top of that, if I got assigned, I'm able to take advantage of that 3.39%, capital appreciation. Because obviously, from 45.46, which is at the current price at the time, to 47, that's how much that's the gap. So that would be a decent capital gain. And by the way, if I do get assigned 47 minus 41.50, that's an overall capital gain. That's pretty damn good. So it turns out, if you scroll down here, you can see TNA. It actually closed at 45.79. So my greedy ass was thinking, oh man, I should have done the 46. But I mean, Friday, man, this thing was coasting above 46, and then it finally came back down. Late day sell off, and it ended up below 46. But either way, my $47 one did not get assigned. It expired worthless. So what happens is my 100 shares are no longer covered, right? There's no call attached to it. So I go into this week, Monday, and TNA being at the price of $45.79, I can sell calls. Unless it tanks like really bad, I can sell calls. Why? Because my average cost basis is $41.50. So if TNA goes down to $41.50, I'll sell calls at $41.50 or above. I don't really care. Because my 100 shares, they're not going to sit there. If I can make money on them, I'm going to make money on them, especially if the cost of TNA is above my cost basis. All right, so that was the TNA trade of the week. Only one. I didn't get a chance to sell puts on TNA because, as you could see, it was above, it was at $45. And I can only sell puts at or below my cost basis of $41.50. And to me, it just was not worth it, right? If I sell a put for $41.50, what the hell's the point? What am I going to get? $15? No, thank you. Right? I'd rather keep that 4,100 collateral and put it to better use. All right. Hopefully that made sense. Annualized yield on that trade. I just wanted to mention 118%. So that's pretty damn good. All right. TSLL. Again, one of the best, man. So I sold two puts here that expired this past Friday, yesterday. One for $25.20 and one for $26.70. I know they still have funky strikes. It's because of the freaking distribution they had paid out, but whatever. So I sold a put for $25.20 and $26.70. At the time, they were 9.9% and 7.07% out of the money. They were around the 20 delta mark, if you're wondering, yes. And I received $46 for one and $32 for the other. And it was an annualized yield of 153% and 151%. So, again, if TSLL closed below either of those strike prices, then I would be assigned 100 shares. TSLL closed at $27.09, which is above both of these prices, $25.20 and $26.70. So all that means is both of these expired worthless. So the fronted money, which was 25.20 and 26.70, that money, that collateral that was placed on hold, that goes back into my account and can be used for next week. All right. So again, 3 out of 3 expired worthless. I mean, some people play the way that they never want to be assigned, so they consider expiring worthless a win. Again, I don't want to play that way. I'm playing as if I get assigned, oh no, please help me. Like, good, I got assigned. In fact, to be honest, even though earnings is this next week for Tesla, I wanted to get assigned something, but I didn't, and I'm probably better off because again, earnings, you never know, man. And that, speaking of earnings, man, the premium is sweet headed into next Friday. So I sold. It got late, later towards the week. TSLL was around 28.06 on one day and 27.58 in the other. I sold 2 more puts, but this time I went across earnings. When you sell options over earnings dates, you get a lot better premium. Why? Because it's volatile as hell. You know what happens when there's an earnings call. Anything can happen. The stock can fly up. The stock can fly down. The stock could do nothing. We don't know. But the point is, the fact that, something drastic can happen makes the implied volatility that much higher, which makes the premium payout that much better. So you can see, look at this one. TSLL. What is this? For 8 days, right? About a week or so, right? It was at 28.06. I sold a put for 23. 18% out of the money. And I still got 76 cents per share, which, by the way, is a 150% annualized yield. So this is why selling options on your own is 100% worth it. Like, this is freaking amazing premium. And I know we love trading the indexes. Of course we do, because it's safe. It makes us feel better. But man, when you trade these individual stocks, especially across earnings and big events, it's just so worth it. Like 18% out of the money. Am I at risk of assignment? I mean, even if I am, look at that. It's going to drop that low. And guess what, guys? It went down to 27.58. I sold another put. $22 strike this time. 20%. 20 freaking percent out of the money. I got 45 cents per share. Total of $45. Annualize that sucker, 106%. So still over 100% yield, 20% out of the money. And that's for 1 week. Oh my God. Amazing. But again, Tesla has earnings. So of course, anything can happen. And guess what, guys? Next week, I'm probably going to sell a put every single day leading into earnings. Why? Well, because number one, I can afford it. And number two, I want that premium. And this is the degenerate part that I speak of, right? Normal options traders, they typically would not do that. Some options traders never trade across earnings, but I say screw that. I mean, I want the IV. Give me that IV. So of course I'm going to trade. In fact, I love trading across earnings. I'll deal, whatever happens after earnings, I'll deal with that, right? For now, I don't really give a damn. I want that premium. So pay me. All right. Last but not least, I don't know if you guys saw, but Friday, man, the market tanked. Like at 330, 340, 350-ish. The market went boom, down. So as you know, I'm dealing with this wash sale rule on MSTU, and I didn't want to buy any MSTI. So I was going to wait and not do anything until the end of January. But I was like, you know what? MSTI is tanking. It was tanking, throughout the week. And then on Friday, oh my God, it tanked a lot. So it got down to what? It was at $28. So I said, you know what? I'm going to sell a put. I'm going to make it a month out. And the reason I made it a month out, oh, by the way, I didn't even tell you guys, but I'm sure most of you know, MSTI now has weekly options. So Jay, if you're watching, which I'm sure you're not because you don't watch my options videos, I'm sure. But if you are, thank you very much, because our last interview, I did ask. I said, can you please file? Because he said he had to file for something or he had to put in for it. And he must have actually did it because MSTI now has weekly options, which is amazing. Amazing. Not right now. It's not amazing right now. And what I mean by that is I didn't trade I didn't choose an expiration date on any old week. I chose the expiration date that was already there, that was already established, because previously they had monthly expirations. So I stuck with that same monthly expiration date. Why? Because that's where the open interest was. Open interest meaning there's more buyers on that side of the house at this, date. So that being said, I chose the 221 obviously for that reason. Plus, I don't want to be assigned and buy MSTY shares anytime before 131. Obviously, next Friday is 131. So I could have chose anything after the 131. However, all of the options chains did not look attractive except the one that was pre-existing, which is the 221. So hopefully that made sense. That being said, since Misty dropped to 28, I sold a put for 26. Why 26? Well, again, it was the lowest one that paid the most decent premium. And I trade Misty a little differently because, to be honest, if I'm a bag holder on Misty, meaning if I'm stuck holding the shares, I really don't give a crap. Why? Because they pay such a massive distribution that I would be just fine holding the bag as long as possible because I'll be making dividends. I'll be making a lot of dividends. Also, don't forget, I currently own 100 shares of Misty at $33. So $26 strike versus a 33, hell yeah, that would lower my cost basis. So I'm selling anything. I'll sell puts anything under 33. Obviously, I'm not going to do 30 when it's 28, although I could, right? I could be crazy. But I didn't want any risk at this moment of early assignment, so I had to keep it safe. So I did go 7.14% out of the money, all right? And by the way, guys, that paid $1.30 per share. I mean, are you kidding me? $1.30 per share? That's amazing money. $130 in premium. And by the way, the annualized yield on that, 65%. I know it's not over 100, but again, I played it kind of safe. It's a covered call ETF as is. These covered call ETFs, they're normally not that volatile. If I go to Misty's volatility is 62%. Right? That's pretty damn good for a covered call ETF. So we should be very grateful that we even have that, right? We even have the ability to sell options on a covered call ETF at that high of volatility. And not to mention now weekly. Again, I know the weekly chains aren't looking attractive at the moment, but give it a month or so and I'm sure it'll be amazing. So those three trades I just went through, again, they're open until next week and further out. Obviously the Misty one's further out. But yeah, that's all I did this week. Again, I'm playing it more conservative than I usually do with a little side of degeneracy. A side of degenerate. I don't know if that's a proper word. But anyway, so yeah, I got 3 pending trades heading into next week. So if I scroll down and I get to the January total income, right now, January, I am up to $1,179. Normally, I would prefer to have a much more income at the moment. We have 1 week left. Let's see how much I made December, actually. December, I made $3,169. So I'm not going to beat December. That's clear. Even November, I made $2,574. Things like that. Again, I'm playing it safer. I feel much better about this. I sleep better at night. I didn't have trouble sleeping before, by the way. I'm just kidding with that, but it's just a better feeling because I always have a lot of cash on the side and I'm ready to play. So anyway, that's my January totals. Let's continue on. We'll go to the individual tabs. So for TSLL, again, I did not get assigned any shares. If I got assigned shares, they'd be at the top here. On the bottom here, this is where I display my put party. Again, TSLL is currently at 2709. I have puts expiring next Friday for 22 and 23. But again, earnings is either Wednesday or Thursday after hours, so a lot can change by then. So again, check out the TSLL options chain for next week, man. Across earnings, absolutely amazing. Again, but it's risky. Keep that in mind. It is risky. But, is it risky in your mind? Again, the definition of risk it's up to the individual. Everyone's definition of risk is different. If you're a complete degenerate, then obviously your risk, you have a high risk tolerance, and that's nothing for you. All right, TNA, again, I do have 100 shares at $42 strike. That's what I bought it out. Again, the 100 shares at 41 got assigned the other week at $42. So the 41 plus the 42 divided by 2, my cost basis is 41.50. So I'm still using that as the cost basis, the overall cost basis. And yeah, so I have no puts pending because, again, I can't sell puts on TNA when it's at 45.79. Because, again, I have to sell puts 41.50 or below. I'm not going to sell puts higher than 41.50. Not when I'm in the wheel. All right? That's just my rule. That's my own rule. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. But these are just some of the rules that I'm trying to stick by. And so far, they've done me well. All right? Soxel, I'm not playing with yet. Misty, as you know, yes, I have the put. I have 100 shares at 33. And then I have a put party of 1 at 25. That's a huge gap there. So if I do get assigned, obviously my cost basis is going to drop a lot. MSTU, nothing yet, soon enough. But yeah, after next week. Okay, so what do we got here? This is the income for the week. So again, since January, again, I've been playing it easy. The first week I made 125. The second week, 355. And then 306, and this week I made 393. So that was my best week so far for this year. Again, I'm playing it, like a baby, nice and easy. Capital used this week, I used 16,836. By the way, that shows a higher yield than usual, than the others, 2.33%. But it's not really fair because the Misty trade is not over a week. It's over almost a month. So it's kind of cheating in a way. But hey, what the hell? It's showing an annualized yield at 121%. So yeah, good stuff. All right, now time for the hypothetical, right? How much capital do I need to make? Actually, someone said the other day, some people don't need $225,000 to retire. So you know what? I'm going to play with other numbers to help you guys out. So let's just assume you're good with $100,000. And more than likely, a lot of people can live off that. I can't. I got 2 young kids, guys. You have to understand that. So $100,000, using my current average return of 239%, which of course I know it's not realistic. But if you used all the money, if I used $41,743, I could produce $100,000, right? So if I had $41,000 and I needed $100,000 to retire, $100,000 annually, so I just need $41,000. But obviously that's not realistic. My realistic view is what I actually did return based on the current capital that I have. And again, the last month, which was December, I produced a rate of return of 75% on an annualized basis. So if you need $100,000 a year, I'm showing, again, if you trade similar to me, you can make about let me repeat that. You need $133,000 to make $100,000 a year safely. Not safely, but somewhat safely in a degenerate fashion. So again, I will try to, I'll even make a note. Change each video. Because I don't know, I'm not going to hit every number that everyone wants to see. But I will try to change it up for the benefit of you guys, to keeping in mind the 225 was selfishly my goal alone. So I don't know what your guys' goals is, but whoever's 100,000, I hope this helped. I'll work on even less. I'll work on one maybe higher next time. Again, we'll play with the numbers, okay? I don't want to bore you guys and just plug in every single number this time. I'll just change it up every time in each video, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this update. I certainly did. Again, I love trading options. I absolutely love it. When I retire, oh, hell yeah. I'm going to be a freaking options trader galore. Because I have the time. Imagine having more time. Imagine not having a full-time job. And you could actually focus on trading options. How much money you could actually make. It's really amazing stuff. And there's so many different outlets you could try to make money outside of the wheel. Again, I'm not venturing out right now because I'm not comfortable. I'm only comfortable with the wheel. And even just the wheel, just doing the wheel, I think that's enough for me to certainly retire earlier than, what the norm is. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again next time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave it down in the comments below. If you want to help out the channel further, feel free to share this video with your friends and your family. If they're looking to learn more about investing or more about options, or, just for the hell of it, just send it to a friend. Like, you want to learn about options? And they'll probably be like, what the hell's options, right? And they won't watch anyway. But anyway, that's the end of it. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I just want to say thank you for watching, and have a great day. Later.